one of the benefits of living in our modern life and having the internet and YouTube and email and Zoom is accessibility. We have so much accessibility to resources across the world and other people who are living an authentic life that resonates with us, who've chosen truth in a certain way that mainstream conventional life, since humans were born, the collective normal world, whatever that may be, whatever time that may have been in, to survive in a normal community historically has meant to belong and to hide your own truth. So to have spiritual leaders and gurus and teachers who were able to awaken to the true nature of just this moment, of just this unfolding self, this unfolding life, the alive wisdom, whatever words you want to put on it, or whatever no words you want to put on it. That used to be really hard to access, those resources, and now it's not. Which is beautiful. Which doesn't mean that the truth gets watered down, but it means that there is as much noise and distraction from the truth that's out there, if not more so. And what might seem to be truth very easily is co-opted or manipulated or has some sort of an agenda that if we're disconnected from our truth, we might believe. We might feel manipulated eventually when we realize that that wasn't true, what that person was talking about or what that group was encouraging me to do, or so all of this is just the nature of truth in just a different form of the internet, the globalization of us being more interconnected cross-culturally, instantaneously. What a gift in many ways, and what a challenge. Because there are many more ways to get caught up in thought. Maybe ways is the wrong word, but many more powerful tools, I would say, that hijack our nervous system. Like a bright screen that signals alarm in the visual field, or alarm in the sound field, or the emotion, like the manipulation of those algorithms to really find like what makes us feel outrage or fear. Those are the things that we get hooked into most. And that's not really what I would call truth. So there's more and more delusion and distortion and separating out from this moment into some abstraction of expectation or wanting things to be different anyway. So there's more gifts of like, oh, I can see, resonate, maybe work with, or just like feels inspired or alive in the way that I knew was here, but something that I just got access to helped reveal it a little bit more. Like, that's such a gift. And the shadows are such a challenge. So there's more abundance of both. And I just want to speak to the YouTube, video, internet, abstraction. I don't know what word I want to use, but the experience, how different it is. Me sitting here speaking in this moment after lunch, the sky is blue. There's no other real descriptors wanting to come up about this moment, but any other moment that I can come into. So here's another moment where there's like some humor coming in. Any other moment is going to be different, and that's where this snapshot that goes into the mind of the internet, which is really just one really big mind, seems to become immemorialized. It seems to become this permanent piece of wisdom or thing. Like whatever I'm saying becomes permanent, and this is what Chelsea thinks. Like, this is her thought. This is her outlook. This belongs to her. And see, this is proof that it is, because it's up on the internet. It's in this permanent little space. Which, by the way, like, does anybody really know what the internet is? Like, we think of it as this concrete like warehouse of content, but if it all metaphorically burnt to the ground, would anyone really know how to recreate it? I mean, I'm sure some engineers would, but it's just so funny how much blind faith we put into the internet and the way that we do the mind, into the identification with the mind, because the mind's not a problem, the internet's not a problem, but the blind taking it to be what is just so funny. How identified we become with something that we have no idea what it is. And what I would say, because I'm creating this video right now, and it's so not my identity, and I know that if it goes out there, which maybe it won't, it will be something that I've forgotten after the fact. And in the moment, it's alive, and it's wanting to express and be expressed, and so it is. And then this is a nice little exploration of this moment. And if I were sitting here in a different day, at a different time, with a different person or people or no one, how the words would be different. The way I would speak about this similar theme would be different, and I would probably contradict myself, but it would be no less true, because it would be true in that moment. So I guess what I really want to say is none of this is real. None of this content on YouTube, none of these books are real. None of these podcasts, none of these great revered texts. And I know that sounds like a very cynical thing to say. That's not where this is coming from if you took the words out of context. or if I was responding to someone having a really polarized view, I might say it a little more forcefully or differently, or it might seem cynical, but that's not the intention here. And when I'm saying that none of this is real, because what I'm really saying with that is none of this is real unless in this moment it's alive for you. Because if it's not alive for you, then it's not revealing anything. It's not resonating or connecting with underneath everything that you should be or shouldn't be or need to be doing or wanting to avoid. If this is alive for you, then it's turning with you towards just this moment. What's here? What's true? And I would say that's really rare in terms of when we engage with any kind of content, whether it's videos or readings or practices or conversations or it's really rare that we're not doing it out of a sense of obligation or expectation or resentment or doubt. That's just human nature, and that's part of this realization of how much we're avoiding our truth all the time and distracting, trying. But in those rare moments where this is really alive, it could be a spiritual talk, it could be a piece of music, it could be someone making a joke, it could be something just humiliating that you're surrendering to and not fighting, that allows your beautiful humanity to just belly up, like, be there. No more fighting. In those rare moments of just alive, this something stirring, something not being avoided, what's life and life's energy is allowed to be free, which I can't tell you what that looks like in any given day, any given moment. It's certainly, if you watch this video every day for 7 days in a row, like, and you still think it's resonating with you, I would be that's just not gonna happen. So it's not about any of the teachers or teachings or offerings being right or wrong. It's about such a fluid nature of life, always changing every moment. And what appears to be permanent, constant, fixed on this internet, which is also like not true, because content comes up and down and new stuff comes in and it's changing, but the recordings and the passages and the books, those kind of apparently concretized ideas, It's like the apparently concrete mountain. That really isn't concrete. It's in its own way organic and moving, but it is fixed in form. That we approach it differently in different seasons and different days, and there's certainly days where we're not going to go up that mountain. We're going to want to go through the forest, or we're going to want to go through the water, or the desert, or a shopping mall. And that mountain will be waiting for us if it's the right moment to come back to it. Not when we're dragged by our friends, our family, or tasked to go because of a work job or something, but when we're really wanting the mountain, seeking the mountain. Not even seeking it, but just like, oh, here we are. This is what I'm doing today. Then it's alive and it's beautiful. And we have access to so many different mountains, and you might just want one. Ever. Or many. Different sizes, different shapes, or just one mountain range. Point is, none of this is real unless it's real for you. Unless it's driven by you, unless this moment, I'm taking you out of it, unless in this moment, it's arising and resonating in truth. Feels authentic, feels like yes.